Alright, gonna attempt some rewiring in this attic. I'm gonna replace this light, and this overhead light is broken. So, and the way this is wired is coming from the breaker panel down there, and it's daisy chaining off this light, and then going to my bedroom where I have my computer and everything hooked up. And if I mess with this right here, so that's daisy chaining, or it might be pigtailed up there, so it might be okay, but I'm pretty much going to run a new line and run a switch over here, a motion detector switch, and install a new outlet, and then it's going to branch off that to my bedroom, and then the switch will be hooked up to the lights. So yeah, now I need to sweep away some of this insulation so I can see where the studs are out, and maybe lay some of this board down so reduce my chances of falling through. But I'm gonna try to fish the wire down to the panel rather than up, because I'm gonna have the majority of the wire up here, and then I don't have to feed it through so much. You can see it poking through. Now I got the old line disconnected. I'm going to pull that right back through, and that should make it easier to push that run right through. There's just so much friction, so this old line's got to come out first. Of course, as expected, it's fighting me to come out of there, so I'm going to have to see if it's secured down there. So, a lot of electricians, they have a hard-on for staples. Staple, staple, staple. I watch my head on this shit, too, because I'm, like, crawling all the way over there trying to push that shit in and pull that shit out. I got it out. Now I just gotta get the other stuff through. Hopefully it pulls easier. Alright. Yes, I got it. One little thing I decided to do is put some of the old sheathing from the old wiring over the new wiring to indicate that there is still vintage wiring on this circuit. So the old wire that was coming from here was 12 gauge, but it's old enough that they didn't color code it back then, so we'll just put that sheathing on anyway, play it safe, that way nobody installs a 20 and keeps the 15 on there. And I gotta be careful wiring to these tandem breakers, because I only have the bottom one turned off, top one. If I turn it off, I'm gonna get cussed at. I think I'm pretty much done fucking around on the panel, so I guess I'm gonna go find out. Yes, there is still old wiring. Well, the panel's back together. I'm at the point of no return. I have to finish this, so I'm gonna work on removing this old wiring and then start stapling the new wiring and run it over there. Starting to staple it along there. I don't expect it to look too pretty. So, I just thought of a name for an electrician company. Call it My Nephew Thomas, and then subtitle, He's Very Handy. Got a little ways to go, and I'll just put the box down over there and start wiring some lights. Now I just gotta take apart that science experiment and mount it on this stud here, and then start running the wire down. Yeah. Okay, attic lights will daisy chain off this outlet, which I will have pigtailed to the line coming in, and then I'll have the line coming from my bedroom going to this also, with a 3-way Wago connector. Like this. I think another thing I can start doing is running the wire from my bedroom. I gotta disconnect it from that light, pull it all the way out of this shit, and then run it this way and back down, and then tie it to these Wagos. I don't know about you, but I think these got kind of hot. Yeah, I don't know if they're supposed to be that way or what, but they're coming out. Alright, got the wire from my room fed through. I still gotta secure it. So, yeah, I gotta start over there. I got pulled through these holes, back through the holes, and then we'll worry about the light later. I'm just gonna try to get power back to my room and try it out, and then worry about the lights. Alright, so with this wire I had slack so I could be able to pull this thing back, but these plastic gangs are like a Chinese finger trap. Once you put them in, you can't pull them out without causing damage to the sheathing, so this is what I get. But this is an attic, so who cares? But time to test it out. Got a temporary light hooked up to it, see if it's going to work, see if I get power to my room. If so, I'm going to continue, and I'm going to continue whether I like it or not. Well, I just took a lunch break while I was doing that. I had power restored to this, and testing it out. Everything works perfect, and I came up quickly after I turned the power on to see if this got warm, and it's doing just fine. So now I can proceed in wiring the lights up, and I think I'm just going to go ahead and reuse some of the old wiring to run power to the lights, because why would I want to use brand new wiring for lights that don't even consume like more than 15 watts each, if that. So you know, you got plenty of this old stuff here. It makes no sense using new stuff for lights that don't use hardly any power. So these wire nuts look like they got a little bit hot too. Well, time to connect the positive negative up. Yeah, those wires coming in were just a little bit too short, so I had to pigtail it. That makes the installation a little bit easier. Just clip it in. Well, all finished here. Now I just gotta do that side, but I gotta run the power line to it first, and then it's pretty much gonna daisy chain from that light over to this one. It was coming from here, daisy chaining. Well, it was spliced in with those melted connectors, and then it was going to my room. So now it's going from here to the breaker panel all the way down to that box, and then it's branching off there to my room, and it's going to branch off to, you'll see. Well, wiring's pretty much finished. I won't use Wagos on the ground. I'll go ahead and use a twist nut for that because it's just ground. But I'm going to go ahead and stuff this back in here, cinch it all up, and hopefully nothing explodes. I think I'm done. Time to turn the power back on and hope this doesn't blow up. Well, it's not flipping back, so that's a good sign. Let's see. Motion is not going to work just yet, but let's see what happens. If I push the button, we have light. We can finally turn this one off now. Yay, we have light. And we have no light. Light. Now, do we have power to the outlet? One way to find out. Come here, you. Okay, so. Yay. Alright. Now I got a mess to clean up. Fuck.